Hi, hello, and welcome back, my dear friends. It's your Nawaz Sharif back with new content. Today, in our video, we are presenting you Kaiji,
Hi.
who is a student here at IÉSEG School of Management in France. And yes, Kaiji, we can begin with the interview.
Oh yeah, sure, definitely. Yeah.
Okay, so where are you from and which university are you in?
I'm from Sungai Petani, Kedah, which is a very small town in Malaysia, and I'm currently studying in IÉSEG Business School, same as Sharif here, in France, particularly in the city called Lille.
Lille. Okay, amazing. So, quickly, how was your overall experience here in IÉSEG?
I would say fairly interesting because but sometimes tiring as well studying here as there is quite packed schedule going on, but I make a lot of good friends. I have a very strong support system here uh, with my Malaysian friend and also with my international French group here, which uh, I feel is fairly interesting. This is the first thing, and also second thing, I got the exchange experience thanks to the partnership of ESI Business School, also with the partner university that I did my exchange to, which is Bocconi University in Milan. And Bocconi University is a highly privileged school, I would say that, and I was super happy that I secured this chance to actually do my exchange in an even better school as compared to ESEC. This is the second thing, and also something fancy about my student life or like my overall experience in ESEC is that uh, I like a lot the city of my study, which is called Lille. Although it is like a very small city as compared to like other large city that is like well known like Paris or like Nice or whatever. But Lille is like fairly more affordable as compared to living in other city.
Other cities.
And living in Lille, all the small things actually matter because sometimes there is quite a lot of small thing going on. There is a lot of event going on in Lille that actually make our life so much happier.
Okay.
And it is also a student city.
Okay.
So it's quite fun to study in a student city because there is quite a lot of life going on, like especially like nightlife that I also enjoy a lot back in my first year of studying abroad.
Okay. So, what were your major struggles while moving to France?
The first major struggle that I faced studying in France is mainly about the language barrier. As you all know, even that we already obtained a proficiency level until like B1, but speaking to the native feels so different because due to like different accent and also different slang going on in across different region in France.
France, yeah.
Yeah. So it really takes usually a few weeks for you to adapt to their accent and like start to speak more confidently in French with the French people, which is fairly hard at first, but I know that you guys are definitely able to cope with it. Like there is no any issue at all, I would say. And second thing is even more complicated is about the administrative task. As we all know, applying the visa, residential permit, or health insurance card, or even like the housing subsidized sometimes might be harder than what we thought. As everything is very bureaucratic here in France, that causes that the procedure usually takes super long time to proceed all our documents and everything. So the administrative task becomes so tedious thanks to all these things like the bureaucracy in France. And also third thing I would say the struggle that I face is about the adaptation to a different environment and also different weather as compared to Malaysia. As you all know, Malaysia is a tropical country, as while France is a country with 4 seasons. So every season feels different as compared to Malaysia, and we tend to like used to like hot weather in Malaysia, but that is not a thing. It's a totally contrasting as compared to Lille in France, as Lille is like in a very north part of the France. So usually the weather I would say is pretty cold and also gloomy in a sense that causes that sometimes we might feel winter depression to a certain extent during the winter due to like the exam seasons going on, and also uh, added with the winter heats that make our life so much difficult. And also next challenge I would say is the cultural shock due to the dry toilet here in usually in all the Western country as compared to the dry as compared to the wet toilet in back in Malaysia that we are so used to. So here are quite a few things that I feel like is a major struggle for me studying in France.
Okay, okay, amazing. What is something that you will advise the upcoming students here? Yeah.
First thing, the most important thing is the we should really like pick up the language super fast. Although we already like obtain until the B1 level back in our preparatory courses in Malaysia, but picking up the language is still somehow hard due to what I mentioned earlier about the accent and also the slang different across different region in France, which making our life even harder. So uh, you really need to find that kind of confidence in speaking French, as sometimes the French people tend to judge. So uh, you just need to like start speaking French, and then you will feel more confident as the times go. This is the first thing. And second thing is about try to learn everything by heart back in our preparatory courses in Malaysia, as it will actually ease a lot of burden of studying in the first year of business school, because they might have some repetitive courses going on in the first year. That's more or less the same thing that we learned before in the preparatory courses, that making our life easier. And also third thing is always be prepared to making more connection. As we all know that French business school, they emphasize a lot of the practical and also the hands-on experience, in which we need to do quite a lot of internship like every year. Try to make up more connections so you are able to find internship more easier, I would say. Yeah.
Okay. So, what will be the few hacks that you will want to tell?
Let's divide a few parts. So first part, let's go with study first. As we all know, the study is the priority of studying abroad.
Yeah.
Always use active recall when you are doing the revision, in which that is one of the method that I use the most, and to actually ace all the exams when you have very limited time to study, but you need to study a lot of things. Active recall is always something super useful when it comes to study. And always ask for help from the senior when you face any difficulties, no matter in life or like in the studies, because once you speak up your problem to a people, it's not about burdening people, but it's actually a sharing of problem that everyone facing at the same time of studying abroad. As I know that studying abroad is actually pretty hard, besides of dealing with all our emotion, but also we need to cope with our study as well at the same time during our study abroad.
So, how was your life as student here in France?
In general, pretty interesting for me.
Okay.
As a student, the class schedule is pretty packed actually for my school, but I do know that for some other business school, the schedule might not be packed as compared to IÉSEG. But I still able to enjoy quite a lot, and I'm still able to travel quite a lot during my 3 years of studying abroad, and I'm in my third year. It's really pretty good for social science student, as we are able to always have a lot of holidays going on as compared to engineering student that even having more packed schedule as compared to social science, which comprise of a business student and also political science student, which is fairly a good thing. But as you all know, don't be like discouraged by all this factor, and just go with something, follow your passion. If you really like studying business, just always go with business, and if you like political science, go with it. even there is always like obstacle for every subject that we are studying. So the last thing is about our mindset is if you really like something, just go with it, because in the end everything will work out thanks to your passion itself.
Yes.
And life as a student here, I would say sometimes it also sucks because you you always like juggling between all the emotions about the study, about your travel, and back again and again and again, which causes sometimes might be feeling overwhelming. But feel free always to like talk all these things with your friends, and as everyone is in the same boat as I mentioned, and we will know each other a lot better.
Yeah. Okay. So, what would be the positives and the negatives of being a student here in France, in your opinion, Kaji?
Let's go with the positive side first. First
Yes.
thing first is definitely about the healthcare system, which is free as compared to studying in other Western country like UK, US, and also about the housing aids that we always enjoy a lot, which is like a subsidy that the French government give to all the students for renting the house here, in which we get a certain amount of the housing aid every month
Yeah.
in for us to pay our
Rent.
rent.
So, which is called a CAF, by the way.
Yeah. And next also, it's very easy to travel in the continental Europe when you're already studying in France, as is Europe is super interconnected. Catching flight is also something very easy in a sense. And also next, very different student life as compared to Malaysia. And I consider it as a positive side because studying abroad is actually for us to gain more experience and to enjoy somehow different lives as compared to what we have back in Malaysia. That is why it's so called studying abroad. And because if you still love to like tend to mix with your own circle and everything and not staying out of the comfort zone, sometimes it's it make no difference as only studying back in Malaysia, I would say. And also next thing is about a very high quality of education, usually speaking, in which like there are quite a lot of like very well known French business school or even public school that give you like very good education, which is something I would say is a positive side as well. And there is also very the tuition fee is a lot affordable as compared to other Western country. For instance, like UK, US, which is like usually 3 times or 4 times double up as compared to studying in France.
Yes.
And also about the living allowance as well, which is usually higher in other Western country as compared to studying in France.
Yeah.
And next thing is about multicultural and also international environment, which I enjoy a lot throughout my year studying in France. And there is also a lot of career and also networking opportunity going on when you are like studying in business school, in which there is like a lot of talk that you can attend to gain more knowledge about what it looks like in practical life. And also last but not least that I really enjoy a lot is work-life balance here in France, in which they emphasize a lot that work-life balance. So once after the working hour, there is no any disturbance being allowed.
To work.
Yeah, to work. Yeah, sorry. Let's go also about the negative side. But I feel like sometimes language barriers, as I mentioned earlier, is really something hard to really cope with. But it takes time. It you just need to build out the confidence in speaking French, and as the time goes, everything gonna be okay. You just need to like pick up the language faster and then be more confident in speaking it out with people. I would say sometimes people, French people, it depends on the region, but they are really able to accommodate if you're able to speak with if you really like put more effort into speaking their language, as we are like studying in their country, and speaking their language is one of the survival skill, I would say. And also next is about heavy and also slow administration going on, as I mentioned earlier. It's about all those paperwork, and also the bureaucratic um, way of administration in France, which causes everything takes so much time. Also about cultural adjustment, it might be a drawback of studying abroad in France, but it will become also another positive side if we see on the bright side. Culture adjustment is actually pretty hard at first, as there is a lot of culture shock going on, and also there's a lot of culture difference usually studying in France and also studying in Malaysia. But if you're able to see on the bright side of what is going on, you will somehow enjoy your life a lot of studying abroad here. And also, last but not least, the cost of living is fairly high as compared to Malaysia, as due thanks to the currency, and also thanks to the, usually speaking, like the cost of living is fairly high because renting house, uh what else, the food expenses.
Yeah, I mean, more likely that's the thing.
Yeah. And also last but not least, the negative thing that I'm able to think of is about the homesickness that we need to deal with always constantly across our study abroad. Studying like 10,000 kilometer away from home is pretty hard. So it is like very important for us to like find a very good friends base here that they can also become a support system for us uh, during our study in France.
Yeah. Okay, so the last question: what's the do's and the don'ts in your opinion, Kaji?
Do something that you must do: enhance your French proficiency level. Always say bonjour first, which is for our politeness.
Okay.
And also take the administrative task really seriously.
Okay.
And also budget carefully. Don't overspend.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Very important.
And about the don'ts, I would say study abroad is very hard already. So don't hide anything only to yourself. Try to speak up to people. Sometimes your friend able to give you more advice about what to face and everything. And don't always pick up English directly to the French people. They might feel intimidated as French is their formal language. Then in order to integrate more into their life, we should start speaking French instead of asking them to speak English to us. And also, third thing, don't always compare France back to our Malaysia. So, in a sense, like, I do know that we always tend to love to compare this and that in Malaysia and also in France. But as the time goes, we need to survive here. We need to live here for 3 whole years. So, which is a fairly long time of study here. So if you tend to always compare this and that, what is going on, sometimes you will feel you're more homesick to go back again, and the emotion even hits harder. And also next, don't really expect the immediate friendships. The idea is very different, as Western culture, they emphasize more about individualistic, and us Eastern, like Asia in general, we tend to emphasize more about collectivism. So due to like all these idea different of how our perspective different wise, causes making friendship is actually harder in the Western country.
Okay, that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, that's all is from Kaiji's end, and I really appreciate your efforts towards this Kaiji. I hope it will help all the students coming from the eastern side of the world, and especially the Malaysian, Indonesians, and a lot of people I believe are over here. And yeah, I think there's a lot of students coming up every year from Malaysia, as you told previously. So I hope it's helpful for you guys, and thanks to Kaiji the most, we made it possible. And thank you so much for watching. Until the next video, it's Nawaz and
Kai.
yeah, Kai.
Okay, bye bye.
Bye bye.
See you.